Hello there, and welcome to today's Heart to Heart. I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro, your health and transformation coach, breast cancer, BRCA2 thriver, and I specialize in helping breast cancer survivors to get their energy and their life back so that they can actually make the most of the life that they have in front of them. So you're in the right spot today. Okay, if that sounds like you. Now, for those of you that have been in my circle for a while, you might be saying, Karen, you're sounding a bit weird today. Well, I'm getting over COVID. And I know it's something that so many of you can relate to. And it's been a bit of a rough ride, but we're doing good and getting ready for an incredible event tomorrow. So you can see all about that at the bottom of my screen here. So, but what I wanted to come in today and talk about is I'm going to be sharing 10 signs that you really love yourself. Okay? Because I want to ask you, right? How many times has somebody said to you, "Hey, how you doing?" And you've just kind of said, "I'm good. I'm good. Or I'm fine." Yeah, you know, when inside you're really not good, or you're not fine, you're not feeling your best at all. But there's almost like this training that we've been through in life where we just automatically respond with that response. Let me know in the comments, right, if you've ever done that. I used to do it all the time, didn't think anything of it, and just let me know. And I kind of feel like so often we do the same thing when we talk about self love. Do you love yourself? Well, yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Because aren't we supposed to love ourselves? Yeah. And there might be an element, right, of loving ourselves, especially if we've been through something like breast cancer. But do you really love yourself? And what does it mean to really love yourself? Right. So that's kind of what I wanted to help you get some clarity on today. Right. So self-love, like most things, is slightly different for all of us, right? There's no right or wrong. But what I'm going to be sharing with you with these 10 signs is I invite you to kind of sit with these, preferably with a cup of tea if you know anything about me, right? Preferably somewhere quiet and really think about it. Get honest with yourself. Because what I know for sure is that breast cancer is that fork in the road. It's that opportunity where we get to say, you know what, I'm going to not do life the same way. I'm not going to keep on just going through the motions. I'm not going to keep on just sleepwalking through my life. I want it to be different. I want it to be better. I want to really show up and enjoy it and love myself so that the best of me goes to everybody else, right? Because that's really what most of us are looking for. And so, as I said, self love might look a little different for all of us. But here are just a few signs that you actually approve of and accept yourself just as you are. That's a big one already, right? And like I said, I invite you to sit with this. No shame, no judgment, no blame, no mean girling yourself. Just this is where you purely get to observe and be curious. And just ask yourself, wow, is this something that I get to improve upon? And if the answer to any of those is yes, I get to improve here, please join us for our special event tomorrow. It's not just me. I'm bringing in 5 other experts to help show you their journey to self-love, right? Many of whom are breast cancer thrivers themselves. So I'm going to be sharing something called the Self-Love Checklist. This is by Rebecca Wonyo. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'll expand upon it, but this was her checklist that I kind of went from, so I want to give her credit there. So number 1, How do you know if you truly love yourself? You only surround yourself with people who truly care about you, support you, and want what's best for you. You let healthy relationships grow and you filter out the negative, draining, toxic ones. Again, these are works in progress, right? These 10 you're going to notice are not just immediate check, yes, done for most of us. Most of us are going to say, well, I might have done some work there, but there's room for improvement. So that's what I want you to ask yourself as we go through this list today. Is there room for improvement? Could I do better there? To show yourself that kind of self love. This next one is a big one for me because it's kind of the premise of all of my coaching and my programs and all of this stuff is based on this. Number 2, you take care of yourself without feeling guilty or selfish. Whether that means meditating, eating healthy, nutritious, delicious food, exercising regularly, all of the above, right? But putting yourself and your health first is a sign that you value who you are. That, by the way, is exactly what I teach you to do in Thrivership School, my group coaching program. But do you do that? Or is your habit what mine used to be? I'd have all these great intentions, but I'd end up putting my needs on the back burner as soon as somebody else said to me, Karen, can you help me with this? Or Karen, can you do that? And I just let my stuff go. If you find that you're doing that, what it's a sign of is that you don't yet know and value who you are enough. That's actually what it's a sign of. So if you've got all of, and like one of the biggest ways that you can recognize if this is you and if this is what you have struggled to do. And again, we're not judging, we're not blaming, we're not shaming, we're just observing, right? Is if you're saying, I know I need to eat better. I know I need to move my body. I know I need to do all these things. I know what I ought to be doing. So why am I not doing it? Because you don't yet know and value who you are. It's that simple, right? That was number 2. Number 3, sign that you truly, really love yourself. You stopped comparing yourself to other people. Now, while it's great what they're doing, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with you and what you're currently capable of. And I see this a lot in our breast cancer communities, right? Where people say, well, she just bounced back from chemo. Why am I not doing that? You're different. Your body's different. Your mind's different. How you treat yourself is different. Maybe your level of self-love is different. Everything's different. We're all different. And yet we get stuck in this comparisonitis. Social media doesn't help. Where we compare ourselves to somebody else. And I also say here a lot, right? What happens is we're comparing our behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel. Let me say that again. Are you comparing your behind the scenes, the day to day messy stuff, with somebody else's highlight reel? More than likely. More than likely. So if you're stuck comparing yourself to others, sign up for that event. It means that we've got some work to do on that self-love aspect. That's all. Number 4, let me just grab some water here. Number 4, expressing yourself is important to you. And yes, I've got my cheat sheet here, by the way. And you're not ashamed of what you want and what you don't want. Your opinion is important and you're not worried about what other people think. If you are there, then you're doing well with this one on your self-love. Okay? But if you tend to suck it up, Suck up your negative feelings. Suck up your hurt feelings. Suck up the feelings that you feel like you're not good enough, or like other people are judging you, or like you're not able to show up the way that you want to. And you keep it all inside. This is a sign that we need to top up some self love. It's that simple. Start here with self love. Because when we know and love ourselves and value ourselves, we're able to express what we want, how we feel, without that fear. We're not worried about what other people are thinking. Ultimately, we can't control that. And yet, so often, I used to do this so much, we get stuck not saying anything because we didn't want to upset anybody. We didn't want to rock the boat. We didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I used to do that all the time, and I don't anymore. I express openly how I feel, the good, the bad, the ugly, because I feel confident in who I am and my level of self-love. I'm not saying I don't have work to do. I believe it's a constant journey to increasing our level of self-love. So number 5, you really love yourself if those negative voices in your head that are discouraging and demeaning have turned into positive affirmations. No more picking yourself apart, and you believe that you are good enough just the way you are today. That's a sign that your self-love is in a really good place. If that isn't you, again, something I can relate to massively. You've got that negative, I call her negative Nancy in your head. Sorry, any Nancys out there, I love you dearly. But we want to exchange negative Nancy for positive Pamela. And that comes through working on your self-love. That comes from knowing who you are, valuing yourself. And these are all things we're going to be talking about tomorrow in our amazing event. By the way, this event tomorrow, it's kind of like, if you imagine like an Ellen show. I love Ellen, right? When she was on Zoom. You're going to be in the Zoom room with us live. If you're able to show up live. If you're not, there's a 24-hour free replay. If that doesn't work for you, then purchase the lifetime access for just $27. But it's like the Ellen show. I'm going to bring in guests. We're discussing the behind the scenes of what really goes on in life after breast cancer. You get to ask questions. You get to ask questions of these experts and these incredible women that I'm bringing in that happen to all be women tomorrow. But you get to be in the room with us, up close and personal, hearing their stories, getting inspired, being hopeful, walking away feeling, yes, I've got this. I can do this. Because that's our intention for you. And hopefully by tomorrow, my voice is going to be even a little bit better. I'll have tea with honey on tap, I think. Number 6, we are talking about 10 signs that you really love yourself. So number 6, you go after what you want. You're motivated to pursue your dreams because they're a huge part of who you are. And you have inner trust and confidence to go after what you want. And you might be here saying, Karen, I don't even know what I want. Time to register for the event. Right? It's okay to not know what you want. But when you do, let's give you the level of self-love, the confidence, the trust to go for it. No matter what. No matter what. Number 7, you're comfortable spending time on your own. And you actually value this quality time. Now, recharging is essential for everyone, right? And so, especially as we go through and after breast cancer, even after active treatment ends, more so than you realize. Okay. And I hear so often people feel guilty for resting. But when you have this true level of self love, you don't feel guilty. You embrace the rest because you know it's necessary and you know that this is exactly what you need. So if you're struggling, that feeling of guilt, that feeling of not being good enough, not holding up your end of the house or anything, or with the kids or grandkids or whatever it is, this all comes down to your level of self love. Who knew, right? Who knew that all of these things related to self love? They do. Number 8, a sign that you truly love yourself. You're grateful. Practicing gratitude is a daily part of your life, and you know that you're not owed anything, and you feel blessed for what you do have. I actually remember when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and there was a few minutes before my husband and I got to go and meet with the breast surgeon. And so we go into the hospital gift store, full of all these bits and pieces. And I remember being drawn to the back of the store. And there was a sign on the wall, just very simple, wooden sign. And it just said grateful, and it had a huge heart. And it stuck with me. That really stuck with me. And I knew for a reason that I was drawn to that sign. And my husband and I went up to see the breast surgeon, had our appointment, discovered I'd be doing not discovered, but discussed the fact that I'd be doing a double mastectomy. And afterwards, we came down and I said to my husband, do you mind if we go back into the gift store? There was just something that just really caught my eye. And I'm not somebody that is a terribly impulsive shopper. Um, we've simplified our home and our life very much. We don't have a lot of stuff. And he's like, of course, whatever you want to do. And so we go in and we see, I showed him this sign and he's like, 100%. And we go home with that sign, and that sign sat over our fireplace. We were in Washington State at the time, and it just sat over our fireplace in our living room. And every single day as I came down the stairs, it was the first thing I saw. And it was just that reminder to have a grateful heart the entire journey through breast cancer, and it's continued. And so sometimes self-love comes in the form of reminders that we have to have on our wall, right? Reminders in front of us to be grateful. It's not that we need to remember these things all the time, but what do you need in your life to start manifesting it, to start believing it, to start being it, right? Number 9, you're happy when you see other people achieve things. You're the only one that knows this, one of those things. Because you're on your own path and you will find different yet still meaningful forms of success, that you love yourself fully. So you're happy to see others succeed. So if you find that you get jealous easily, you're jealous of other people's successes, no matter what they are, then it's often a sign that there isn't enough self-love yet. Yet. Right? It's a big, big word. One of my favorite words is yet. You're the only one that knows if that's how you feel. Maybe you judge. Maybe you're jealous. Maybe you feel negative. Maybe it makes you feel depressed. But that's a sign that you need more self-love. And finally today, with our 10 signs that you really love yourself. The last one is you know great things will happen to you because you put positive energy out there into the world and are open to different experiences. If you put good things out into the world, good things will make their way back to you. I believe that with every ounce of who I am. It's why I always show up. It's why I always give. It's why I'm here to serve. And it's not to receive back, but I know that that's my mission. I know that's my purpose here on earth. And it's truly who I am. Right? So isn't that the definition of self-love? I don't do things that I don't want to do. I do things that feel right to me. And I hope that you can feel the positive energy that I put out, even if I'm sick, even if I'm struggling here. So those are our 10 signs that you really love yourself. How many of them can you relate to? Is there some work to do? Do you need your self-love tank topping up? Because you can see, one of the things I talk about a lot is our energy level, right? Because it's something that so many of us after breast cancer struggle with. And all of these things, all 10 of them on this list, help boost your energy. Because when our focus goes inward, when our focus goes on just us, and it's not to say that we can't focus on us and others, please understand that. It's not an either or situation, it's an and, which is why it's not selfish, right? But when you focus on you, when you're focused on loving yourself, how do you think you show up in every other relationship? How much energy do you think you have? It impacts all of those things. So if you have not yet registered for this amazing live 3-hour event tomorrow, you can do so by clicking the link anywhere you're watching this video. There'll be a link in the description to save your complimentary seat. If you can't join us live tomorrow, there will be a free 24-hour replay, but you must register in order to get that. And if that's not enough time for you, then just register. Purchase the lifetime access. It's $27 until our event ends tomorrow. That price will be increasing at that point to $47. I believe in complete transparency. I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. Okay? So if you're not quite there on these 10 signs, I promise you, you're going to walk away tomorrow feeling much more fulfilled, much more hopeful, and much more inspired that it is possible for you, so that you've got more energy, so that you get to actually enjoy your life even more. So I'm going to go rest up my voice, practice lots of self-care and self-love so that I'm ready for you tomorrow, because I can't wait. Can't wait. Okay? That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, register for the event. It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. You want to be in the room with us, trust me. Okay? Bye for now.